Hey guys, what's up? Paul coming back to you with another vlog. Guys, today we are talking about clarity, clarification, clarity. And we're talking about why men are so stuck, how most men cannot fix their life because they can't even name the real problem. You know, you hear it all the time. Like if you're talking to your buddy over beers or something, you hear, I'm stressed, I'm tired, I'm stuck, my wife's pissed, whatever it is. It's like, no shit, dude. But what is exactly causing you to have those things, right? You have to get to the root cause. We do this in our health and wellness clinic. We look for what is causing these symptoms. It's the same thing for your life, gentlemen. If you can't define the enemy, you'll never win the war. So as I said yesterday, we're taking a deep dive into my book, Beardology, as where I talk about how I was looking at surface level problems, surface level symptoms, and not getting down to the real problem. What is exactly causing X, right? And so I describe how I did that for myself in the book. I describe how I do this for my clients. And guys, that's the biggest thing is we look at surface level problems and we come up with surface level solutions. Most guys chase bullshit band-aids. Did you hear that? Are you chasing a bullshit band-aid to your problem, to your surface level problem? Here's another fitness program. We're going to hire another trainer. I'm going to buy another book that I won't read. I'm going to listen to another podcast and I'm going to do nothing with. Does that sound like you? Because that certainly was me until I realized that I was never going to get to the places that I wanted to get unless I figured out what the real problem was. So just like any medical condition or what I do in my health and wellness center is without clear diagnosis, it's all noise. It's all noise. And I believe it was Albert Einstein that said, if he had an hour to solve a problem, he'd spend 55 minutes looking at the problem and 5 minutes on the solution. And guys, that's what I found to be true. 95% of your problem is where you should focus. And then 5% is where you should enact the solution because most guys are swinging the fucking hammer at the wrong wall. I mean, imagine if you're trying to build a wall and you're trying to you put a screw and you're trying to hammer in a screw. Like that's what most guys are doing today with all the stuff that they are surrounded with. Now, listen, I'm not saying that the problems are less significant or anything like that. I understand that. But most men don't know how to solve the problem. And why is that? Because their fathers probably did not help them or teach them or show them the standard in which it was. So I have this thing with my boys. Whenever they get frustrated, whenever they're upset, and they're trying to figure something out, I say, solve the problem. That's my direction to them. Solve the problem. And then we talk about it because you have to become a problem solver. And I believe that most men inherently are problem solvers, but we kind of get distracted and we just tend to focus on the noise that's around us, and that impacts our clarity. And you want to know if you are not clear as a man on your direction and where you're headed, you know what that else impacts? It impacts your confidence. And if you don't have confidence as a man, guess what? You don't have power. You want to know what else it impacts? It impacts lack of clarity with your spouse, right? How many times have you been in an argument with your spouse and, it doesn't go the way you want? It's because of this problem. So clarity is the starting line for any type of transformation. And I'm so sick of hearing these influencers online talk about change. Guys, change is temporary. You can change your diet for 90 days, but then you go back to doing the same shit. And this is what I'm talking about. That is a surface level issue. And I've lived that multiple times. But you cannot fix what you won't face. You cannot fix what you won't face. And how do you know what you're supposed to face if you don't know what the real problem is? So, when you get brutally honest with yourself, when you start to reflect and you start to take the 95% of your time of addressing the key problem, you start to diagnose what the real problem is, whether it's your money, your marriage, your fitness, relationships with your children, that's when stuff changes. That's when real transformation starts to happen. This is what I do with my clients. Like the first thing that we do in my program is we identify what the problems are. So much that when you enroll with me, when you do one-on-one coaching, the first 7 days, We are taking inventory. We are logging down all of these things for a week. Why? Because we're identifying the problems. That way we know what the plan is going to be for the solution. So we spend 95% of the problems with my clients identifying the issue. And we do that by our actions and how we're showing up every day as men. But once you understand and have a plan in place, then you can go and execute. And then that brings a whole different hurdle of, can you execute daily on the actions that are going to move you closer to solving that problem? And the answer with that is most definitely yes. Like, we all have setbacks, we all have hurdles, we all have things thrown at us day in, day out that we have to overcome as men. But having a battle plan and having something in place, that's where you guys win. And that's where you fucking crush it. So the hardest step, gentlemen, is the first punch. It's scary, it hurts, it's not fun, it makes you uncomfortable. But then if you don't step up and you don't name the battle, and you, because of the fear, you just become another average dad, an average husband, an average employee, and you don't have any power because you don't have clarity. So I'd have you consider, where in your life right now do you need clarity? Where in your life right now do you lack power? And so where do you need to spend that time defining the problem? And I'll leave you with this. If you can't name your enemy, you certainly cannot kill it. And I help men name it. I used to be a firefighter, 14 years. I've gotten extremely fucking damn good at helping men define their problems, getting to the root cause of their problems, and helping them understand, if they want real freedom, this is where they got to start. So if you're ready to fight that battle, this is where you guys need to go. This is where you need to go spend your time. This is what you need to focus on. So until then, guys, I'm signing off. Dominate daily.